Good morning. This is Veenu Chaudhary, English teacher, Bright Scholar Senior Secondary School. Students, as promised, I am sending you now the complete set of business letters as already described by me. So I will not read it line by line, but tell you some of the salient points. So if you will notice here, I have made an error. So I will just correct it and tell you this is Messrs Sports Solutions. Messrs is plural for Mr. So if there is more than one proprietor, you do not address to any one person, you just write Messrs. So when you're writing Messrs, as you can see here, when you're writing Messrs, then you will use the salutation sirs. And try and avoid beginning with an ing word. So this is inquiry regarding rates in terms of supply of sports items. Now, as already told you earlier, there is no reference number except for the reference about the advertisement. And we request you to quote your rates and terms of supply. If you write this, or you say if you could send us your brochure, we would be really grateful. Now, I have left brand blank here. So you are much better at knowing the brands than I am. I'm sure you will be able to fill in. But remember, I said only 5, more than enough. You don't have to write 10, 12. It will just be a waste of time. You will get marks even if you write 5 of them. Please don't write less than 5 items. And then again, let us remind you that the maximum discount will be considered, right? So here another thing which is there is that it is the head coach who is writing. So generally head coach or any employee of a school or organization is authorized by somebody higher up, the management of course, and then they can place an order on behalf of the school. So that is why it is mentioned here for Bharat Public School. You can even put it in brackets, otherwise you can let it go like this. Now this is reply of Messrs Sports Solutions and they are addressing the head coach. All right. Keep on noting down the dates. See the reference number since it is Bharat Public School. So BPS is mentioned and then the reference number is devised. So now again I have left the brand or the model number, whatever the case may be. Now what was asked? Quoted rates. So you will not write the quantity, but quoted rates per what? Dozen or per piece or per pair. So please make sure you make that distinction when you're writing. Again, the third paragraph is about money, right? Then looking forward to a lasting business relationship with your prestigious institution, full stop. I seem to have not written it. Now, this is the manager writing. And then you have the third sample. I will not go over anything else. I'll finish with this and just scroll it all up once for you. But most of the students actually confuse between what is the inquiry and what is placing in order. So when there is placing in order, students still say we would like to know. No, you will not say we would like to know about your rates and terms and condition. That is already done. So reference number, you will give a new one. And then what will you refer to? The previous one. So what is the previous one? The previous letter was 02. So you will mention 02 over there. And then you are going to write where we had requested for quotations for sports equipment, and we are pleased to inform you that we accept most of your terms and conditions. You want value for money, so you will not give in to all the terms and conditions. You will wait for some time. You will negotiate, and that is what you would do. So you will write most of your terms and conditions. Again, brand or model number I've left blank, you will fill it in as per required. This is again about money, and then similarly you just write this and you write yours sincerely. So you could, if you write like this is also fine, but if you write for Bharat Public School, that's also fine. Now this is letter of complaint. Now in letter of complaint, don't let it be all 5 things which were broken. Keep it to 2 or 3. That should be more than enough. And then how many? So it can't be all the pieces. Make sure you give a small amount there, and then we request you to replace the defective item. Now before you begin with the complaint, you can just see, as mentioned here, we thank you for keeping your promise and delivering the consignment on time. So please thank before you start complaining. So always the positive before the negative, right? And as I mentioned, whatever you are enclosing, please make sure you mention 1 or 2. So 2 photocopies are there, one of the bill, other of the delivery voucher, and you have actually mentioned their numbers here. Now we come to the last, which is the cancellation, and there it is. You will just write as is. I will be forwarding it and you will get it subsequently. Bye-bye.